2 of clan battles in World of Warships just ended. This season was called Islands of Ice because of the map that was played very often by the players in this competitive mode. Over 80,000 participants, more than 5,000 clans, and over 700,000 of battles. That was impressive, really. I was personally a participant of the clan battles, and I can tell you that it was one of the best times in World of Warships. We are pleased to congratulate all the commanders who fought for glory and rewards, especially those who earned a special Stalingrad flag. I know it's a very precious prize. We all look forward for the next season when top players will again battle with each other and will be able to show off their skills. Battle discipline, yeah, that's a topic, right? Update 074, take the system to the next level. We will be able to track the players that misbehave on the chat and during the game in a more proper, in a more effective way. The new system will more closely track the players who misbehave and does not comply to rules. Yes. Guys, can you hear me? Guys, can you let me know, do you hear me? Okay, they cannot hear me, apparently. But they can hear me, so how am I supposed to tell that? Okay. Yes, please. Morning, captains. Well, you successfully passed our public test of Morning Stream 1.0. I'm glad you managed to go through it with us, and I'm happy to have you here. Let's start from the beginning, like nothing previously happened. Welcome to our first World of Warships breakfast stream, guys, and thank you for your patience. I really appreciate that. Sorry for this a little misbehaving of our audio and sound system. Today we are going to talk about the highlights of the latest month, upcoming changes, and we will answer to some interesting questions provided by our community. I'm a Lumberjack, and I will be your host today, and you are more than welcome to hang around with us a little bit more. Without any further explanation, let us move to the recap of what interesting happened in the previous week that you should totally check out. Let's start from the clan battles. Season 2 of clan battles in World of Warships has come to an end. This season was called Islands of the Ice because of the map that players had to play during this competition. Over 80,000 of participants associated in more than 5,000 clans played over 700,000 of battles. That's very impressive. We are pleased to congratulate all the commanders who fought for glory and rewards, especially those who earned our special Stalingrad flag. Let's move to the battle discipline, because I know this is very interesting topic for our community. Update 0.7.4 takes the system for preventing misconduct in battle to a completely new level. It will affect both inactive players and those who misbehave in the game. The new system will more closely track the behavior of those players and will adjust punishment accordingly. The new system is more nuanced and enable us to determine the degree of players' guilt, adjusting the penalties accordingly. As before, the status of players directly depends on their actions in battle and is shown by the color of the nickname. For more information, I strongly encourage you to check our portal, because we have very interesting portal article about battle discipline presented by our lovely and our beloved Captain's Bad Advice. Go and check it. Ranked battles. Ranked battles are back, and this is very interesting information, and this is, for me, one of the highlights of the latest week. I personally start playing from the bottom rank, and I managed to go through it till the rank 10, and then I stopped because of some reasons. During night season, we have to challenge other players in our high tier ships. From rank 23 to rank 11, we will be able to play 8th tier ships. From rank 10 till the second one, we will be playing 10th tier. And rank 1 will be on my favorite 7th tier rank. I can't wait to go with my Atlanta into the battle. I bet that our rewards won't disappoint you, because for those who reached rank 1 for the 7th time, we have a special perm camo for Flint and Black. I think that sounds really interesting. And remember that your achievements from previous ranked battles are taken into the account, so you don't need to start from the scratch. Last but not least, let's move to the update 0.7.4. Previous week brought us completely new update 0.7.4. I won't lie if I say that it's one of the most important updates in our history, because the whole update is basically based on players' feedback. Unsportsmanlike conduct prevention, improved matchmaking, changes in ribbons and achievement, and start of the ranked battle season 9. Those are just major beats of the latest update. Don't let it fool you, because there is much more. Remember to check our portal right after this stream, because Dasha presented this whole update in a completely new level. She took it to the completely new level, and in my personal opinion, it's worth checking out. Talking about the videos, we have some really hot stuff coming directly from our YouTube channel. Both of them are pretty new and pretty. Sometimes attacking ships randomly is not the best tactic. What could happen if your friend or foe system would malfunction? Well, let's check it out with the new head over keels.
Head over keels. Actual naval stories. Friend or foe. Autumn 1939. While patrolling over the North Sea, a squad of German fighters spotted several British Blenheim bombers, intending to attack 4 destroyers.
Heads up, British bombers ahead.
It looks like they've decided to hunt down our destroyers.
Everyone pick a target. The lead is mine.
As far as I know, we shouldn't have any ships here. Attack the nearest ship.
Heads up, action stations. Repel aircraft.
Sir, can't they see that we're allies? They're going to sink us.
Enemy down, attacking the next.
What's going on? Who should I fire at, sir?
Fire at the enemy, sailor! Fire!
Scheisse! I'm hit.
Well done, Jimmy. Continue to attack.
That wasn't me, Commander. That was the destroyer.
Sir, haven't they recognized us yet?
Fall back. These are British destroyers.
Abort, abort, abort! Abort the attack! Guys, these are our ships.
They've recognized us.
War is the realm of uncertainty. War is the realm of chance. No other human activity gives it greater scope. No other has such incessant and varied dealings with this intruder. Chance makes everything more uncertain and interferes with the whole course of events.
What a story, right? Oh my god, guys, that was so wonderful. And wait, there is more, and there will be more head over keels. So keep subscribed to our channel, and you will see more videos like that. Let's move further. How come I didn't penetrate the citadel in my last battle? Well, I hope that this video will answer some questions. We are moving over to hit points. How it works.
Every World of Warships player has asked themselves these questions at least once. Why does a shell from a battleship sometimes deal 1,000 damage and other times 10,000 damage? And why do I get so few credits for an intense and difficult battle?
Today, we're introducing a new series of videos, How It Works, dedicated to game mechanics of World of Warships. We'll try to answer the questions that worry our players, tell you about the way spotting and concealment works in the game. You'll learn how much HP the repair party consumable can restore, and how damage is dealt when you ram someone.
Understanding the game mechanics will help you make a bigger contribution to your team's victory. One of the most important efficiency characteristics of any player is the damage they deal in a battle. That's why we begin with the mechanics for damage infliction and the ship's structure in our game.
Let's use the Japanese battleship Fuso as an example. Its top configuration has 57,100 HP. A warship is basically a small floating town with a very complex design. How can we model this complexity in the game and avoid turning it into an incredibly detailed and boring simulator at the same time?
Firstly, instead of several dozen compartments, we'll divide the ship into bow and aft ends, a citadel, superstructure, and casemate. And of course, we'll assign different values to different parts. The bow end of Fuso has 3,700 HP, the aft end 3,400, the casemate 8,500, and the superstructure 1,500.
Naval engineers tried to group all the crucial compartments of a warship, such as the engine room and ammunition magazines, in the center of the hull, and protect it with as much armor as possible. This part of the ship is called the citadel. Its value needs to be reflected in the game, because no ship can continue to fight if its citadel is destroyed. For this reason, we decided to put all the ship's HP in it, all 57,100 of them.
And now the main thing. We'll introduce a special virtual part and call it, let's say, the entire hull. Fuso has 42,800 points in it. So if you sum up all of Fuso's parts, you get 117,000 points, and the HP indicator shows 57,100 points.
This means that you need to deal 57,100 damage to it, and it doesn't matter which part of the ship these points are deducted from. The difference between the parts lies only in the speed with which you deal damage to it.
This concept is not an easy one, and, at first glance, looks odd. Let's try to figure out how it works in a specific example.
Imagine that a shell flies at our test Fuso, which deals exactly 3,000 points of damage. It will inflict this damage only if it hits the citadel. When hitting any other less important part of the ship, it will deal only 1/6 of its damage. For example, if it strikes the forward end, the total hit points of the Japanese ship will decrease by only 1,000 points.
But 1 in 6 of 3,000 points of damage is 500. Why does the HP decrease by 1,000? The thing is that when the shell hits the forward end, it deducts 500 points from this part of the ship and another 500 points from the entire hull part. However, the most interesting thing begins after the bow of our Fuso gets hit by 8 shells, and the forward end, which, as we remember, has only 3,700 HP, gets destroyed and stops receiving more damage.
Now the damage will only be dealt to the entire hull, and each hit will inflict only 500 points instead of 1,000. By the way, the game has a hint for you to stop wasting shells on a destroyed part of the ship. It turns black.
However, by firing at the destroyed bow, you can destroy the entire hull. As a result, you'll decrease the HP pool of the battleship by 46,500 points. If you continue to fire at the bow after that, you won't be able to inflict any more damage. The forward end and the entire hull have no HP left. However, the aft end, casemate, superstructure, and citadel are intact, and Fuso will keep on fighting.
Now, let's imagine that a shell hits the battleship's citadel. It won't do any harm to the entire hull, but it will deal 3,000 damage to the citadel itself without any reductions. Of course, the question of where to fire mainly depends on the specific conditions in a battle. But regardless of which part of Fuso you target, you'll need to deal exactly 57,100 damage to sink it.
However, we have only just begun talking about the mechanics for inflicting damage in World of Warships. Watch the next episode to learn all about over-penetrations and damaged modules.
If you find this video useful, share it with your friends, leave your comments, don't forget to like it, and of course, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Until next time.
Well, that explains a lot. I hope we're gonna have more videos like that. I'm pretty sure we're gonna. You guys are very curious people, but that's good. You have some questions and we have some answers to them. Let's proceed with our Q&A session. First question. What is the state of CV rework? Well, I'm glad that actually you asked this question because we talk about this and much more in our latest Waterline 1.1 video, where both of the fields explained what is the state of CV rework currently, and they were very detailed about it. So if you are a subscriber of our YouTube channel, please watch it, and remember to leave a thumbs up maybe. And spread the word, because that kind of questions repeats themselves on the forum on the regular basis. So if you ever see someone asking what is the state of CV rework, please send him a link. Moving to the next question: what is happening to Graf Zeppeli? Okay, so the rework is done. Owners of the ship have time until 075 to get refund, or if they are unhappy, or if they are happy, they can keep it with a special permanent camo, with a special camo. During the process, how we were handling it, we created a special Facebook group with the owners of the ship and people interested. We balanced the ship together with the help of the owners, and it might appear in the premium ship eventually at some point, but for now we unfortunately cannot disclose a date. Moving to the last question, last but not least. What is the current state of Yamato? In my opinion, it's weaker comparing to other BBs. We read some concerns on our forums about the performance of this Japanese battleship. According to our stat, the performance of the ship is very comparable level to its counterparts on tier 10, and it's fine. When it comes to balancing. The Yamato is still a beast, dealing a large amount of damage, especially with its large 460 millimeters AP armor, excellent torpedo protection combined with amazing firepower of main and secondary batteries make this an enemy that you should really fear. Of course, showing broadside of Yamato is not a good idea, but when is? Remember that in the last 2 years we've expanded our Tech 3 with many 10-tier ships, new variations of ships that excel in other areas, and that the Yamato has been around since the launch of the game, so many players know how to deal with Yamato, because we've seen it so many times in a battle. We had the time to adjust. We know the ship, we know the angles, we know the weaker parts, we know the good parts. That's why it's so easy lately to play against Yamato, or it may looks like. We're going to keep an eye on the Yamato state and Yamato's gameplay, performance, and we will make adjustment if it's necessary. Please remember, if you ever experience a problem with Yamato or any other, feel free to go to our forums, to our portal articles, and leave us a comment. Or if you experience really serious problem, just write to our customer support. Guys, that's it for Q&A. I have just a little announcement to make, if you don't mind. Lately we've released a community spotlight, where you can find interesting videos, contests, and many other informations, mostly provided by our contributors. Please feel free to go to our portal and check them out, because they are very interesting. We've made those community spotlight in all languages that we support, at least on EU server. Thank you once again, and as our cherry on the top, I have a special gameplay for you, prepared exclusively by Notser, our contributor, with his commentary. The battle seems very interesting. That's it from me, guys. Thank you very much. I'm sorry again for the first impression and our problems with the sound check. We're gonna make it better next time, and thank you once again. See ya.
Hey, this is Notzer, and we're in the Tier 10 German destroyer, Z or Z52. We're on the map Tears of the Desert, and I got a special treat for you. It is a German division. Ja, sehr gut. Got the Hindenburg and also the Große Kurfürst. So we've got pretty much every single top tier German ship represented in this division. And I just want to showcase this game because it's a great example of what you should hope to do as a team. Now, obviously, we're in a division, we're on comms, it's easy to coordinate, but regardless, if you recognize that a teammate is capturing, screening, providing long-range support, tanking, whatever it may be, you got to try and enhance their ability to fight. So I have loved turning a 1v1 into a 2v1 in my favor, in my team's favor, and this is going to work the same way. I go forward of my position, of my team's position. I'm going to capture a point. If I run across something that wants to contest it, well, we know it's a DD. And I'm going to push forward, calling out targets and hoping that my team focuses fire, which they will because we're on comms. So the Germans are really good with hydroacoustic brawling around a capture point. Yeah, their smoke's not the best, but it's adequate for what I'm trying to use it for. You got AP, of course. You need a perfectly broadside scenario, but otherwise, everything's gravy. And the torpedoes rearm very quickly, so we sent out first set, trying to go for the Izimo. Friendly absolutely wipes out the enemy cruiser Atago. It was 100-0, perfect broadside, great citadel. Now, as I'm moving forward, because we've captured, we see not one, not two, but 3 sets of 5. That means there's a Shimakaze, and by detecting this, my team is safe from any torpedo. You know, overcom saying, hey, just saw torpedoes, be careful. Teammates in the back, roger. Absolutely, we do not want to run into those torpedoes because they're Japanese. And you might ask, well, how do you know? Well, there's only one ship in the game that can put 15 torpedoes in the water in that quick succession. You could use torpedo reload booster for other ships, but it takes time, and there's a 5 to 10 second pause between being able to send more torps. So it's clearly a Shima, and he clearly does not want to contest the cap. So I'm just going to move my happy self in an area where I think an enemy could be. Looks like the Izimo is going to have a friendly DD, but our torpedoes are right on target. Looks like we got 4 right. Yeah, 4 cause a flood. Most likely the flood was going to stick, but friendlies take them out, so it's good. But I know there's a Shima, both in the torps and the smoke, so I'm going to try and work my way over to the smoke, and I'm going to send my torpedoes once again. I can't speak any more highly of the Germans than that. This torpedo reload is so useful. Yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage per torpedo, but having it up for pretty much every enemy that could enter your area of operation is wonderful. So as I move over to the smoke, I'm going to decide at a particular point when I feel like, okay, I'm close enough that I could detect. Hydroacoustic detects, and funny enough, on comms, I was like, poppin' hydro, and the friendly Grosse Kuffers, poppin' hydro, and the Hindenburg, poppin' hydro. I mean, we popped hydro all almost at the exact same moment. Everyone had the same feeling. It's been too long, the Shima's ready to go. Sure enough, we spot the Shima, and I get to make use of his smoke, so I get a double benefit, and his smoke's only gonna last for a little bit, but I'm gonna still try and chase this guy down. Now, firing at a DD that's actively maneuvering, you don't want to fire predicting what he's going to do. You want to react to his basic cadence. If he's someone who's going to go left and right very quickly, well, then just aim directly at his center point. If he's someone who's actually considering shells coming in, you want to try and draw your aim point into a position to lead him. That's the best way I can describe it. He's a little bit of both. He's a little bit of a hybrid. Every once in a while, he's going to do a left and a right on a pretty fixed rate. But it does look like he's pausing every once in a while. So that's how I'm pretty accurate with my DD shots. But this flank is secured. And already, the enemy has lost 4 ships. 3 on this flank alone. And basically 3 with the combined force of my division. But we're going to continue forward. It looks like there's a couple enemies by B point. Looks like a last known position of at least one DD is sitting in B. So I'm going to work my way towards that last known position. I do have smoke. I won't have hydro. I'm not going to be quite as aggressive as I would obviously be with hydroacoustic. And then that enemy cruiser is just running away. He's basically able to go the exact same speed as me with speed boost for the French. That's the, what is it, Henri? Henri? I don't know French for 4, but it's Henry the 4th or whatever. And I'm going to just continue to move this direction. Always keep in mind how many DDs are left on the map. It's incredibly important. The DD is the most important ship for objective play. Enemy just captured B point. Probably both of the DDs contributed to that capture. And we see a puff of smoke. So somewhere in between the two last known position DDs on the minimap, I'm going to guess that they're sitting there. And the friendly North Carolina is under fire. Obviously, I can't really affect this at this point, but my team is trying to move towards B point plus my division. And we're communicating on comms. Yeah, there's a DD in front. So as I move close to this target, I'm considering who it could be. What is their loadout? If they're Pan-Asian, they can't affect me with their torpedoes. If they're German, they might have hydroacoustic as well, which limits your torpedo effectiveness. And what do we know? Enemy German spotted out in the open. Friendly should be able to work on him. I think that's because they use radar. It's a Minotaur. Shimikaze. Okay. No, it's just because he was moving outside of smoke, I think. My last known position for the enemy was at A point. Just, that's another thing to keep in mind. Because the last position they saw me in was at A point, they're probably shocked that I'm this close. And sure enough, by the time we arrive, we've got hydroacoustic. I would like to stay a little healthy, so I'm going to use my smoke. Probably unnecessary. And I'm going to fire at this guy. I switch to AP because he's broadside, and of course he's sailing directly into my torpedoes, which is great. We take him out. There might have been time for him to drop torpedoes, and hydroacoustic would have revealed that. So we're pretty good. And I'm just going to transition over to this enemy cruiser. Don't see the other enemy destroyer, the German destroyer that's over by B point. And honestly, I should probably switch to HE just because of the angle of the target. And those were spotted by the enemy DD that we killed probably 20 or 30 seconds, but the enemy just, I don't know, lost track of time, didn't pay attention. Just like that, they're down to 1 DD, and that's really bad for the enemy. We've got so many advantages from an objective standpoint. I'm just like, oh yeah, come on, bring it on. I'm going to send my torpedoes at the enemy that seems to be going south while moving towards B to capture it. And there's also an enemy DD that was sort of last spotted north of C point. So I was like, if I was a DD, I would try and lead my team, and that would put him somewhere near that enemy that is north of C point, well north of C point, near the islands. So I'm going to try and pay attention to the mini-map. I'm sort of driving with one eye and looking with the other on the mini-map this whole time. I really just want to counter the enemy DD, because it's really the only way they can counter us is with a good torpedo strike on us. But I'm not seeing him yet. Enemy Minotaur's firing his guns. Friendlies are doing a good job. Where are you, DD? And this is what you should look to do. If you know you have an advantage on an enemy, go after him. And of course, we're spotted. This is 100% radar spot. And I think it's the Moskva that's hiding behind the island. Because I don't really have a choice, I can't hide from this, I'm just going to openly fire. Because the enemy's broadside, I'm going to switch to AP. And of course, the second I switch to AP, he's going to angle towards me, minimize his effectiveness. Thankfully, he decides to fire AP on a broadside DD. It's going to overpen madly. So he didn't do anything, and of course the radar's done. So we're doing pretty good, and yep, just as I moved this direction, the enemy DD was spotted by my division. And I would like to go after this Bismarck, I think. We got a friendly DD that's moving up with me, Shimakaze. You guys notice that the Shimakaze... I'm really happy with the way Shimakaze captains have been playing their Shimas. It seems like they're more aggressive towards the objective because they have better concealment. It could just be confirmation bias, but I definitely feel like overall the Shima population went in the right direction with their playstyle. And oh man, this Moskva. Perfectly broadside. Boy, it would be terrible if German AP entered that broadside. And we're just gonna kill this guy so quickly. Just look at how much damage potential it does per salvo. You could get up to 32, 35. That's really nice. But unfortunately, I'm not the last person to target the guy and damage him. That's okay. We'll just continue to move forward. And this Ognivoy is like boxing me out here. I can't really fire. I can't do anything. Everything's in the way. But I think we pretty much locked this game up. It was a really fun, division-oriented game where we won a decisively, spotted and killed pretty much every ship that went over there, and then continued forward, taking out the real threat, which is, in an objective game, the DDs. You take them out, the enemy team can't do anything. So I was really pleased with the overall strategy, and it felt really natural. There's one thing the Germans aren't known for, and that's finesse. They are going to use the steel might of the German Navy to push against the enemy, and everyone did their part. I think between us, we had like, oh, I don't know, what is this? I can't see. Like 6 kills? Yeah, we had 6 kills as a division. Not bad. Not bad. And it was in one of my favorite ships. Ah, yes. I just love the Germans. I'm sure a lot of you are German fans, but I just think Wargaming did an outstanding job with these ships, and it shows. At least, I think it shows. My friendly Grosserkur first, he beat me on points. It's all those one-shots that he got. But no, I'm happy for him, man. We got 7 kills at the division. Outstanding. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.